Okay, good morning everyone. Welcome to the October update for Macrium, the Value Partner Program. Thank you all for taking the time. As I said, this is going to be recorded and it's going to be placed on YouTube and on our website for follow-up later on. My name is Stephen McPherson. I'm the Sales Director at Macrium, and it's my great pleasure to speak to you all this morning. So let's get started. What I'm going to do is I'm going to first of all go through some just general updates. I'm going to talk about any interesting new releases that we've got out recently or coming in the future. And then I'm going to quickly go over a customer survey, or the results from a customer survey that we did earlier this year. This is a repeat of what I presented at IP Expo a few weeks ago. It should take about 20 to 25 minutes, and it'll be of interest to anyone who's a current reseller or interested in becoming a reseller of ours, or as a distributor, or someone who's just accidentally stumbled on our call by mistake. So it should be interesting anyway. As I said, it'll take about 20 odd minutes. So just quickly now looking at company updates and any new releases. So this in Q3, which is the July to September quarter, we experienced a nearly 40% growth year on year in EMEA. Globally, it was slightly higher than that. We're very happy with that growth. It shows that we're getting very good traction in the market, and that what we're doing from a partner and from a marketing perspective is starting to have effect. The reseller community keeps growing, so we're very happy with that, and that's just contributing to everything that we're doing in terms of trying to grow the business. One thing that we are very happy with is that communications and our marketing efforts are really starting to have a benefit. We were very delighted with the reaction that we got at IP Expo in London back in mid-October. That showed that there's a lot more of our users out there than we tend to think, and it also shows that there's a great deal of awareness. Also, that it shows that there's still a very strong need for reliable and fast backup solutions, especially in the small, medium enterprise space. And we continue to focus on that. We're continuing to grow out our regional distribution partner network. The next on the list is to get a distribution partner in Nordics, France, and in the Iberian Peninsula, so Spain and Portugal. We have quite decent reseller communities in all of these regions, and at the moment we're not really looking after them, so we aim to do that as best we can. In terms of future growth, we're very optimistic, and this is a major selling point for anyone who's looking to join our reseller program, is that they can look forward to strong growth with high margins. And we encourage anyone who may be listening to this to get signed up if you're not already, and become part of the program. So there was a couple of new releases that have already happened in Q3. One was we put out to the market a deployment kit, or Macrium Reflect deployment kit, based on our technician's license. I'll go into that in a bit more detail later on. But we also released Reflect version 6.1. So this is a major maintenance release. It also included a couple of new things, including support for WinPE 10, and also we introduced what we call delta indexing, and that's it's a technical approach to more efficiently managing incremental backups and the size of the index associated with incremental backups. In particular, it's going to reduce the overall size of the incrementals, and it improves the speed of recovery, and it makes it more efficient to manage and more robust. What we're really looking forward to in coming out before the end of the year is going to be a much improved and updated management framework for Macrium Reflect for IT administrators. We anticipate that this is going to radically change the suitability of our products for larger enterprises, and we hope that we can take a refreshing approach to this. So I'm going to go through that again in a bit more detail later on and show some screenshots for that. So first of all, looking at deployment kit, it's come about through popular request for a replacement for Semantic Ghost, which Semantic Ghost has been basically the default solution for creating and deploying images for in the enterprise, so creating a standard image and deploying it to multiple new machines. So what's happened is Semantic have dropped support for it, and because we've got very good imaging capability, and we have this tool called the Technician's License, which allows you to create a portable application on a USB stick to do imaging of servers and PCs. We've had lots of requests to turn this into an enterprise class imaging and redeployment tool. Now we've got standard deployment licensing, but at a very large scale it becomes quite expensive. So we decided to create basically an unlimited license, which allows an IT technician or administrator to create and deploy in an unlimited fashion standard images out to multiple machines. And it's all based around this portable application, or the Macrium Reflect running on a USB stick, and it's proven to be very popular. We've sold a lot of this already. It's done on the license on an annual basis, and it's getting a lot of traction. So we're glad we put this together. We're trying to help people out when they've got holes in their deployment and their backup solution. So we're providing that through the deployment kit. If you need more information, go to our website, take a look at it, and we can provide you with pricing if necessary. The one thing that we're really excited about, and this is a major change for us, is the creation of an incredibly updated or more modernized management framework. Will enable administrators to much more easily and rapidly deploy the backup agents to machines and manage the backup of an entire estates. We're hoping to take a slightly different approach in terms of, especially around the alerting side of it. I'm not sure if any of you have heard of If This Then That, which is IFTTT, but essentially it's an online tool which allows you to trap alerts from different applications and pass them through to any device, such as a mobile device, for example. Obviously, we're going to make all the normal alerting available to Windows events, but we think If This Then That allow you to deploy the alerts, or have the alerts go out to mobile devices or to enterprise collaboration tools such as Slack, which we use ourselves and find very useful. So we think that IT administrators will enjoy that as well. The whole idea is to make it very easy to configure alerts or events on mobile devices in particular. Of course, we're going to have full support for remote deployment, configuration, and reporting is incredibly important, and the full dashboarding that goes with it as well. We hope to make this available for beta testing in the coming weeks. So if anyone's interested in taking a look at the early release of this and helping us out with thoroughly testing it, we'd be very happy to hear from you. We think this is really going to change our market presence completely. So what I've got here is I've got a series of screenshots which the development team have kindly given me, showing some of the features of this tool. So the first one shows essentially a view of the estate, allows you to group computers into different categories, allows you to create custom views, and it's a single view of different servers or PCs in the estate, showing their status, whether they've been backed up, whether they're available, whether they're viewable, and then you can actually drill down into each individual machine and see the status of the drives and the partitions. And this is a remote view, if you like, of this is a representation of exactly what you currently see in the full edition of Reflect if you install it on your machine. So we're pulling all that information back, and we're going to be displaying it to administrators, easily drill downable, and look at the full status of machines, drives, its backup targets, and so on. Also, you can take a look at the status of the log. So one thing that Macrium Reflect has always had is very nice, it's very good logs, so you can see full events, tells you exactly what's going on, and this will form the basis of what's going to be made available for alerting out to mobile devices and to enterprise collaboration tools. So we're going to make this available. Again, it's going to be drill downable, fully reportable, and of course dashboarding is incredibly important. So we're going to make sure that there's plenty of information or plenty of options for administrators to view at a glance the status of their backup estate or the backup that's happening on each machine or across an entire estate, success, failure, speed of backups. And this is obviously important because it allows them to manage backup windows, storage for backups, and all those things which are incredibly important in terms of making sure that your data is properly protected. So looking forward to this. To say, if anybody wants to be part of the program, we're more than happy to bring you on board and get you helping us test this out. At this stage, we plan to make it available to as many people as possible, and we'll be we're still working out the licensing model, but at this stage we'd certainly like to make it available to anyone who's got any number of our licenses, because we understand the challenges that they have. So just to summarize, if we look at our full product family, if we want to add in the deployment kit and the bundle for virtual machines now, we obviously want to point those out to you, as well as a normal workstation server plus, technician's license and home editions. I want to add into the Macrium VI boot, which is a utility which we make available for free to individuals or administrators who want to be able to instantly, if you like, virtualize and create for DR purposes any backup images that the Macrium Reflect has made. So now I just want to shift gears a little bit and talk about this customer survey that we did. We've labeled it Belts and Braces, and that's based on the theme that came through from the answers to questions in the survey. And it basically summarizes in a couple of words the approach that current administrators take to doing making sure backups work. So what happened was we just really wanted to validate a lot of our assumptions around what's happened in the backup market, why customers choose Macrium, of course. And so we asked a series of questions, and the survey ran from May to July. Went out to all version 6 and Reflect Free Edition customers. We pretty much focused on backup tools, preferences, processes, and what sort of features are like. We got almost 500 respondents, which is really great, so we're delighted with that. And what's come out of it is a report which is in the form of a white paper, which can be downloaded from macrium.com. We handed out quite a lot of them at IP Expo, and a lot of interest in this. In some ways, it kind of reflected our assumptions, so we were quite happy about that. But looking at some of the more looking at some of the questions and some of the responses we got, I've just highlighted 4 of them in this presentation, is that when people ask how many different solutions or suppliers they were using for doing backups in the environment, slightly more than 50% said they were using 2 or more. And this kind of gives light to the fact that administrators are more than happy to put up with slightly extra administrative overhead just to make sure that the backups work. And the second question reinforces that and says, why are they using more than one? Well, the highest respondent was, well, we want a peace of mind, so we want to make sure it works. We want to make sure we have a backup of our estate. We want to make sure that we have a backup that we can actually recover from. And obviously there's also niche requirements, so having the right tool for the job. And we totally understand that, and we're not too surprised by this. We continue to address the concerns around this with our products. When you look at the actual concerns themselves, people identified, well, still speed. So the time it takes to do a backup is the most important element. It's the biggest concern. And that's perfectly reasonable given the amount of data that needs to be backed up these days, and the loads on networks, and the smallness of backup windows, the 24/7 business. All these kind of things certainly contribute to the pressure that it puts on getting backups done in a quick and a timely manner. And the second biggest concern is, will it work? Hence the belt and braces approach to backup solutions in the environment. We asked a question around what sort of approach they take, what sort of strategy or backup strategy they take in their environment, and got quite a lot of mixed responses, but essentially the most popular is the full with incrementals or traditional grandfather, father, son type approach to backup strategy. in general, if I look at some of these quotations that came out of it, some of these are nice feedback on our own products, on Macrium Reflect, which we're really, really happy to get, because it reflects that because it tells us that we're doing the right thing, and it drives certainly where we're going to focus our efforts in terms of new features, new products, and we're going to continue to push in that direction. But it reflects all the things that we've talked about in terms of the dominant answers we got, speed, reliability, simplicity, and we want to make sure that we address all of those. I'm pretty much finished talking at you. We're not going to do a Q&A session this time. As I said, this is going to be recorded and put up on YouTube, so anyone who wants to view it at their leisure is more than welcome to do so. What I'd really encourage anyone who views this is to get hold of us. We want to hear what's happening, in particular in the UK. We're very keen to properly engage with our reseller community. We're very keen to talk to any partners who want to find out more. We're more than happy to provide information. Alina really wants to hear from you. I want to hear from you because we want to support you as much as possible. Work with our distribution partner, QBS Distribution. They will make sure that you're looked after from a pricing and from an ordering perspective, and take advantage of the growth opportunities that a vendor such as Macrium provides. We have big ambitions, and we're working hard to get to grow the business. So once again, it just remains for me to thank you all very much for your time. Hope that was interesting for you, and we will come back with another update before the end of the year. Thanks.